Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Shirtless Plantain Show. This is the Euros edition with me, your host, Tosin, alongside Dean. How you doing today?
I am quite well. How are you, brother?
I'm fantastic. It's been a great day of football, and we got more matches to go. And we're going to start off with England and Switzerland. We're going to do this differently. And we're going to do this one talking about Bukayo Saka. Now, as most of you know, professionally and spiritually, I'm an Arsenal hater. Not like Arsenal, ever. But I do respect Arsenal at the same breath, which is weird. But who cares? Bukayo Saka is the best right winger in the world. And if you disagree with me, I don't care because I'm not wrong. You're the one who's wrong. Arsenal fans, I'm friends with a lot of Arsenal fans. So trust me, I know a lot about Bukayo Saka. And I've said for a while, he's very good. I think it was this season that I realized, like, he's not good. He's actually fucking fantastic. Like, he's arguably the best right winger in the world. And today against England, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I've seen some people in some group chats and some messages have been around saying that he should be dropped for Cole Palmer, which, again, Bukayo Saka, I can only say this in Yoruba, he's Agbon to him. And if you don't know what that means that's his OG, okay? You're not dropping the little nigga for the big nigga. And there's a reason why Saka starts, and he showed it today. When he had Abisha 1v1, a lot of the times Abisha was struggling. In Yoruba, we usually dobale for the elder. Like, that's what we do as a sign of respect. And for a good 120 minutes, Abisha was dobale for Bukayo Saka because every time Saka had that ball, that man did not know what to do. He was twisting in and out. And listen, I'm an Arsenal fan when we can tell you about the greatness of this guy he's seen since the beginning of his career till now.
Honestly, man, there are not enough flowers to hand to this kid. He's just an incredible footballer, seemingly an incredible person, the kind of person that probably would have succeeded at anything he decided to do in life. If he was going to go be a lawyer, he'd probably be one of the best lawyers. If he was a doctor, he'd be one of the best doctors. Unfortunately for fans of rival teams, he has chosen to be a footballer. And not only that, a UKIP footballer, a right winger. And I'm sorry for all your left backs. You know, Abisher will let you know what he dreams about tonight when you ask him tomorrow. But honestly, if you've been a fan of the show for a while, I hope some of you are new listening to this. But for those of you that have listened to this for a while, if you've heard me, if you've heard Coach, if you've heard people like Mitch and Gabby, you know how good Bukayo Saka is. I mean, like, there's a reason why we call him Starboy. And that doesn't even feel fitting anymore because boys don't carry teams. Men carry teams. And Bukayo's been carrying Arsenal for years, and he's now carrying England. But we told y'all before the competition started that he was one to look at. I think I asked you, Tosin, like, who are you checking out on England? Who are the most important English players?
And I said it was Bukayo Saka and Jude Bellingham. And Dean looked at me and said, what about Harry Kane? I said, listen, there's a reason why I said Saka, okay? I could have said anybody in the English team. I could have said Foden. I could have said whoever. But it is Saka for a reason. You don't find too many 1v1 specialists in football nowadays who's very good at what they do and left-footed on top of that. Saka has all of that, strongest shit, and he's carried Arsenal, right? Like, Man City be damned. Saliba and Saka, like I said on the other podcast, Saliba's very damn good. These two kids are special, and Saka showed it today that they ain't too many people in the English team that you're going to bench for him. In fact, there's nobody you're going to bench for him because if you're thinking Cole Palmer should bench him, you're watching a different game than all of us, and I don't want to watch what you're watching because clearly it's not good. It's clearly not good.
It's fascinating because as dramatic as this game was, we didn't really learn anything new, which is the most fascinating thing about England in this tournament. Saka is England's best offensive player at a minimum, probably their best player overall, in my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. That's fine. Phil Foden mostly got in the way. Jude seemed a little happier when he was away from Foden. Kyle Walker is not the defender the coach seems to think he is. And offensively, he doesn't do enough to get the ball to the most dangerous player on the field that's right in front of him. But that's been happening all tournament. Ezri Konsa was mostly good, was bad on the Switzerland goal. Harry Kane is definitely carrying some sort of injury. There's no way a professional footballer is putting out that amount of effort. Like, when you look at the pass map for England in that game, Kane is literally standing at the center circle, not connected to anybody else. His most notable moments in this game involved him basically playing as a DM because he knew that he couldn't offer more than that. All he could do was tackle today. So to him for making the effort for his country, for his teammates. But I think in a less toxic culture, because I think it's like a British thing probably. In a less toxic culture, I mean, Mbappe literally told Deschamps the other day that, Coach, I'm done. You need to take me off. And Bradley Barcola came on, scored a penalty, created some chances, was useful in that game. Harry Kane basically didn't come off the field until he fell into his coach's arms after getting shoved off the field by Manola Kanji, which was one of the most symbolic images from that game. So in an ideal world, he would have just told the coach, like, listen, I can't do it, because he was horrendous today. And he's been terrible all tournament.
Stinking up the gaff, and he kept dropping deep. Another kid that made me smile, and I just looked and I was like, wow, he really plays for my team, is Kobe Mainoo. Kobe Mainoo is 19 years old, right? But you would have thought the way he was talking to Kyle Walker, he was a 34-year-old and Kyle Walker was a teenager. He was just so calm and composed in midfield. There are times where he could have, there was one time he passed it when he split the defense and he ran through and he passed it to I think it was Trippier on the left side. Nothing you really could do about that. I'm sure if he passed it to Luke Shaw would have probably done something else. But listen, overall, we didn't learn anything new about either side at all. I mean,
not really. I mean, England did do something different, but we already knew that they could do this. Essentially, the rumor before the game started was that England were going to go to a 3 at the back system. But in actuality, they were only a 3 at the back, well, really a 5 at the back off the ball to match Switzerland's attack. That's basically all they did. Otherwise, it was the same as always, because the lineup graphic showed Saka as a left wing back and Trippier as a right wing back, or the other way around, whatever. Ended up not happening. And when the game started, it was like, oh, nothing's really changed. Saka just has to get the ball from deeper. Is all that changed. And I suppose he also instructed Bellingham to be more left than central in this game.
Yeah.
I don't know how much it helped, but, because it just looked like Foden was getting everybody's way, personally, I thought. I mean, at this point, it feels like I'm hating on the kid, and it's not really his fault. The manager should play Anthony Gordon, but that's not going to happen because Phil Foden is one of our best players, and he has to play. You have to build the team around him and blah, Every time he's off the field, England actually do something important. But that's neither here nor there. But there was no shot on target for either team in the first half. So it's not as if the Swiss took advantage of England not being all that great either.
No. You know who did impress me for Switzerland? And I said it before the tournament, Dan Ndoye. I mean, I think he's still raw. I still think that he does make a lot of bonehead decisions. He's 23, 22, around there. So he does make a lot of bonehead decisions, but he has something that you can't teach, and that is
speed.
Pace. You can't teach that sort of demonic speed that this kid has. He needs a coach that can challenge it in the right way. But Dan Ndoye impressed me. Granted, Xhaka was obviously hurt. I think that we could tell that. I knew Xhaka was hurt. In the first half, and I'm sure I messaged this too in the chat, I said, that right side for Switzerland is open. There was a time where Dan Ndoye was literally just has chalk on his boots, and he was looking directly in Trippier's eyes. Like, if Xhaka was actually not hurt, there was so many chances he could have switched it to that other side, but he was playing safer. And I could tell in that beginning, I was like, yeah, granted, it's not 100%. Maybe I'm tripping. But
I think I'm more inclined to make defenses for Granit Xhaka since he was at Arsenal before he went to Bayer Leverkusen. And I don't think he had a great game. I just don't think Switzerland, outside of a period right after they made their first subs, I'm glad you mentioned Ndoye because he actually got the assist on the goal for Mbolo. But until that sub happened, I just felt like he struggled to get in the game. Like I expected a more dominant on-ball performance from the Swiss, but I think we got to get some credit here, bro. Like between switching to that off-ball formation where they were basically playing like a 5-2-3, the two being Mainoo and Rice, then Foden, Kane, and Bellingham kind of forming a trident in front of the team to press the Switzerland center backs. I think that just kind of dampened their Xhaka's influence in the game, really. I don't know if he was fit or not. I think at this stage of the season, everyone is carrying something. He's played so many games. He's lost almost no games. Technically, he didn't lose this game because they had to lose on penalties. So I don't think he had a great game. I can't really call whether he's injured or not. But England didn't do anything until Switzerland did something. And Switzerland didn't do much until they did something. So it really took Murat Yakin deciding to move Ndoye up like 10 yards, because he had him playing a lot further back, a lot more defensively. And after they made those subs, Ndoye moved up a little bit. Fabian Schär gets him the ball. He crosses it. Again, Kyle Walker should be there. He should be blocking that dude off. Doesn't do it. Ball goes in. Then England wakes up.
And Saka does his thing.
Yep.
And
Yep.
and the funny thing is, I saw somebody tweet. Remember when they said Kaká cut it back when Foden was putting his arms out? So that's literally what it was when Kaká was like Kaká come back when
Right.
Foden when yeah. But one thing that did baffle me this whole entire tournament for Switzerland was no Okafor didn't get no minutes.
I don't know. I don't know. I think you just have a better. I think your whole thing is discovering players, so you get really excited about. I think you get more excited by the players about the player. He's kind of like your Cole Palmer. Put it that way.
Yeah.
He's just not that good.
No, I get it. I mean, like I said, I've seen him at Milan. I just was kind of confused. Just like, hey, I would have thought he would have got maybe like 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, but I'm not the coach. I don't know what goes on behind trainings. I was just saying that was a bit curious for me, but yeah. I don't have the answer to any of that. It's not my wheelhouse. It's above my pay grade. Okay, I'm not clearly on the sideline for the Swiss to know anything.
Well, here's something that is within your pay grade. Luke Shaw. I think because he came on with 2 other guys, and there was a bit of confusion around that substitution at the time because it was 3 guys on, 3 guys off. I think it was Shaw, Palmer, Eze for Trippier, Menu, and Ezri Konsa. And during the substitution, the camera was on Jude because I think they put his number up. And he was so sure that it wasn't him that was coming off, which makes me believe that Southgate tells them ahead of time, like, okay, so if this happens, we're going to do this. Like, we're just going to react to what's happening in the game instead of trying to be aggressive and actually win the game. So Jude was so sure, but that was neither. I thought Shaw made instant impact. Instant impact he brought width to that left side. Quick overlap. The game looked different immediately.
Look, Luke Shaw, you could never make me hate him, okay? Luke Shaw cannot stay fit to save his life, but goddamn, I love that big man. He is fucking incredible. Okay, I don't have any Luke Shaw when he's on his game. There's very, very few left backs outside of Teo Hernandez is better than that man. Luke Shaw is incredible.
He truly is, and
his technical prowess is stupid. Okay, he can find the pass, and I think he's a physical monster too. He's strong as shit. He's fast as shit, and it's just.
He played at center back at points. I remember that.
He did. He has. And I was like, yo, Luke, just stay fit. Like, that's all we need from you is just stay fit. But, man, he changed the game for sure.
He did. He did.
And the funniest thing is...
Real quick, just his presence on that left side, I feel like it basically stretched the field out. Which meant that when Rice passed that ball to Saka, there was actually space for him to cut in on somebody in a duel, cut in and take that shot, and they get the goal. So,
I guess... what's crazy?
What's up, bro?
I was going to say, what's crazy is what we've begged for all tournament. You can get some goddamn depth. Get some width on both sides.
Nigga, just put someone who can run by Phil Foden or whatever corpse you put on the left. Just put someone behind it that can run by him once or twice a game. That's all we asked for. And it basically changed the game. But hey, credit to Gareth, man. He saw that they were going to get eliminated and he made his changes immediately. There was no, let's linger. Let's see if they pick it up. Like, he just made the changes immediately. The Swiss, though, in extra time, when they made that sub in Doe for Zakaria, I was like, yeah, they're ready to lose.
Yep, 100%. I literally said the same thing in my head. I was like, oh, you wouldn't done it, Zakaria? You've conceded. They already know. I will say one thing that was cheeky was Shaqiri trying to catch Pickford off his line.
With the Olympico?
Yeah.
That was insane, man. Like, and Pickford was like laughing and smiling at him, but that was the most nervous laughter I've seen in my life because they would have been hanging effigies of him at like fucking Leicester City Stadium and shit like they do in England, something that wasn't really his fault. It was a great effort by a guy that's known for dominating tournaments with golazos, and he almost added another one to the collection.
Let's get to the penalties before we move on.
Of course.
I don't want to talk about this quickly. Cole Palmer's not black. Shut the fuck up. I get the jokes. He's not black, okay?
Wait,
Kendrick dropped not like
some St. Kitts and Nevis not black? I thought they were black out there, no?
First and foremost, let's break this down. He's great. His grandfather's black, who ended up marrying him. Long story short, he's a quarter black. Okay, where I come from, the dominance
in America, that's a nigga. You go by the one drop rule in America, so maybe he's one of them crackers over in England, but here he's a nigga, and that's what he is to me.
So he's Creole.
Okay, sure. Let's rock with Creole. That's a good middle ground for us. All right, Creole then. Fuck it. Him and Beyonce got the same heritage.
But yeah, those are some stupendous penalties. And the Yoruba Swiss calculator could not make his penalty.
That's a shame. It was a very poor penalty. I almost can't even credit. The only way Pickford doesn't save that is if he dives the wrong way. It was slow. It was kind of in the mid. It wasn't a middle penalty, but it was not to the corner at all. And everyone else just converted. Everyone converted. I resent that there's this little narrative going around about like Saka sort of getting some sort of redemption after he missed a penalty in the finals of the last Euros. Everyone realizes that he's been taking Arsenal's penalties for the last 2 seasons, right? Occasionally he gives one to Havertz or one to Odegaard, but he takes all of them. And he's missed none in the last year. He's perfect. Since he missed at West Ham in the run-in 2 seasons ago, he hasn't missed a penalty.
Yeah.
So can we stop infantilizing? Like, this nigga is really him. I know we started by praising him. We should end this segment by praising him again. Tosin, say more nice things about Saka for me, please. I'm begging.
He's Yoruba.
Hey.
He has a Yoruba girlfriend.
Yay.
Which we love.
Yeah.
Actually, we actually really love that. Actually, we love that
deeply,
around here.
Deeply.
Yes. that is, in fact, that's the nicest thing I can say about Bukayo Saka, that he has a Yoruba girlfriend. I think if you know what I'm trying to say, okay, and I think you know what I'm trying to say, I'm very impressed that he has a Yoruba girlfriend. So
that is a man with a lot of patience, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to all your aunties that are listening. I apologize for nothing. I apologize for nothing.
No. Yoruba women scare me. After God, I fear Yoruba women.
Yeah, as we leave this segment, I just want all you motherfuckers to acknowledge it. Okay, like it's enough. Stop playing the little games. Stop acting as if people are on this level. They're not. We've been polite. We've entertained the debates. It's fun to do online, but these kids are not on his level, and that's what they are to him. They're his kids. Honestly, they're going to be good too. They're talented. They're great. They're not him. He's him.
Yeah. But quickly, I'm going to go back to praising Saka because that's how we want to end this England segment. Ivan Toney's a stone cold-blooded killer. That penalty he took lets me know exactly what he is. He's actually not a good person. He's not a good human being at all.
Hey, man, you can never make me hate a man that gambles on himself.
No, because he knows what he's worth. Okay, and finally, Bukayo Saka. Once again, stop playing with that kid. Okay, he's better than what you think he is.
Call him chief. Okay, he's chief to you little niggas, man. Stop that.
Yeah, and speaking of Nigerians, the Netherlands has a Nigerian that played today, but we'll get to that later. They beat Turkey 2-1, and yeah, I mean the first half, Turkey was flying around, and Arda Guler showed like this is why he plays for Real Madrid. He was doing shit that I was just like nutmegging people, passing it. Even the goal he set up was on his weaker foot. He's a left-footed player, and that was pinpoint. You couldn't even. I could have made that header. That's how good it was. It was inviting.
I gotta give that some thought. I don't think so, bro. I've seen you jump. I'm not impressed. However, you're right. You're right to highlight Arda Guler. I mean, like, this is the most impressive thing about his performances as a false nine for Turkey is just the authority he shows. Like, he's still 19, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And I know it's Lamine Yamal's tournament because he's still a fetus or whatever, but a 19-year-old should not have and I'm going to use the word in the non-weird context that the kids seem to use it online now, but his aura is that of a leader. His teammates play with him as if they know that he's better than them. They treat him like he's the best of them, and that is the best compliment you can ever give a player, giving him the ball constantly, because you know he will figure some shit out for you guys. And Turkey, that team has a hierarchy, and it's led by a 19-year-old. I thought it would be a little different this time because in the last game, against who did they play against in the last round? So many games, Tosin.
Can't even. My God! Listen, there's been so many games going on that like, my brain is just...
They played against Austria.
Yes.
And in that game, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, who is the captain of the team, wasn't available because he had a yellow card suspension. And I thought that Arda Guler's charisma in that game was a result of the fact that they had a bit of a leadership deficit. So he had the authority maybe from the coach Montella to talk a bit more and be a bit more himself or whatever. But no, that's just how he is. He just needed the one opportunity, and he's never letting that shit go. He's officially one of the big chiefs on the Turkish national team now. And the minute, what's his face? Çalhanoğlu retires, he's going to be the captain. It's so clear to me. He's the guy there. Yeah. And I cannot wait to watch more of him at Madrid. And I can't wait to watch more of Turkey generally in qualifiers, in games, because they can't defend for shit, even though they played in a 5-4-1. But they have all these talented offensive players. Even their best defender, Ferdi Kadioglu, who was probably overall their best player in this tournament, I would say. Even him, he's an offensive player, really. That's what makes him stand out. He's a left back that is right-footed that pops up all over the pitch, but still does his defensive work. I love that kid, man. He's fantastic.
Discipline be damned.
But it wasn't enough, Tosin. It wasn't enough. This felt like a very clear heritage game. The minute the Netherlands scored, it didn't look like this game was ending any other way at all.
Yeah, I mean, Yilmaz, by the way, was running around like a dog. That man did not give a damn. He's running everywhere.
That's the one thing you can give the Turks credit for. They play hard. It's all passion. They're all passion merchants. They might not recover from this loss for like a full month, but you can't ever criticize them for not playing. And by the end of the game, the Netherlands were hanging on. But
bro, Bart is a keeper.
Verbruggen is the youngest keeper in this tournament. The youngest keeper for Holland since like 1969, I heard on the TV.
Nice.
And
yes.
They also scored their go-ahead goal in the 69th minute. Actually, the equalizer, De Vrij, in the night. That's neither here nor there. I want to talk about Cody Gakpo.
Yes.
He has quietly had a very good tournament.
It's not quiet. It's very loud. Okay. In Yoruba, we call that pariwo, and that's what we call weed as well. But that's neither here nor there. But yes, Cody Gakpo has been extremely loud and very good. It's funny what international football does. You turn on your kit for your national team, but some people just turn to God. And that's what Cody Gakpo has really turned into. I know, Coach and I, we've said that the Netherlands are very polite. Today, they were very rude. Extremely rude. They had the power of 1,000 vans into them today, especially Cody.
Yeah,
and even Memphis. No, go ahead.
It was frustrating. And here, actually, let's just talk, since you mentioned Memphis. He had the first chance of the game. Probably should have put that away to just end the game at the beginning. Blaze it over. No problem. But I guess my question to you is, isn't Holland just, like, it seems like when you think back even to the last World Cup, their best results all came in moments where Wout Weghorst was on the field. And I know it's not the Dutch way to play with a target man.
Yeah.
They're barely playing their 4-3-3 at the moment. So I'm glad they're at least doing that somewhat. But when Wout comes on the field, which is what happens, that's essentially how the game changed. Turkey took the lead, took it into halftime. Then Wout Weghorst came on for a Steven Bergwijn at halftime. Memphis moved out wide. That combination crossed from Memphis into De Vrij, first goal. Then Weghorst was just causing problems all over the place. Why don't they just start with him? Don't they want to win this?
I don't know. But all I know is, like, excuse my French and pause on this. I know, Pride Month is over, but he brought a lot of girth and tonnage to the pitch. And he was just, like, throwing himself all over the fucking field. I'm like, yo, this is obscene. And the thing is, he's a relentless presser. Like, he doesn't stop running. Like, you're 6'5". You should not be moving this rapid. But he changes everything for them. Like, he's like a big battering ram that brings everybody into the game. And he might not score.
Right.
But the thing is, defensively too, he's a monster. Like, he blocked in the other box. That should have been a goal. He was there. So it's just like, these guys are finally tapping in. And like, we were talking about Denzel Dumfries. He's not the best player, but he at least can defend somewhat in a weird way. And it all kind of worked today. It was weird that, like, the two teams that we've been so harsh on most of this Euros, Netherlands and England, kind of just decided, you know what? We're going to show heritage today. And that's kind of what we did. So I don't know, man. It's weird. Like, Cody Gakpo, again, going back, I don't understand Cody Gakpo. I don't know if he's a striker. I don't know what he is. But with Netherlands, he's a very good player. It's very weird. Even something like Xavi, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I've particularly enjoyed his runs on the wing. Like, because he's still a very tall man. This is like a 6'3" individual. And he's on the wing, weaving in and out of guys like he's Robert Pires or some shit. It's great to watch. And, he's been their best player in this tournament, I would say. Him.
For sure.
I know Coach mentioned Reinders a lot, but I'm not that much of a fan personally. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet with Reinders. But
you did call him Aaron Winters.
Yeah, well, that was a compliment. He just reminds me of him. Just the general aura, just skinny midfielder that can play all three roles type shit, but can't really play any one of them to a 10 out of 10 level type shit.
Yeah.
But I just thought the Turks really, by the end, I was so impressed. They really deserved it. They brought Cenk Tosin on, which is always funny to hear because, Tosin. And he...
Someone added me Someone added me today and said, "Is he Nigerian?" I was like, "He's Turkish, nigga."
Are you stupid? Come on, people. Come on. In any event, like just like Weghorst did for the Dutch, he brought problems, and the Turks created a lot of chances after he got on the field. Those were the moments in which Verbruggen had to shine. That's a period of the game where Wout Weghorst made the tackle he made. Mickey van de Ven had to make a goal line clearance. The Turks really, really brought something to this competition. Like, this is a team that essentially attacks because they understand that even if we put 20 defenders on the field, we're not good at defending. So Montella is like, fuck it, we just gonna believe in our talent and attack people and see what happens. And the tournament will miss them. But you know, sometimes God wants to save a good person like John Stones from being savaged by Arda Guler too early in his career. You know, so we'll give that we'll wait until Champions League for that or something.
Darren Fletcher's a very funny commentator. He says, what he say goes, Turkey needs a goal here today. Look at Montella. He wasn't a bad striker in his day. He should come on the pitch. I'm like, shut up, Darren. I'm just saying anything at this point.
Hey, man, it's a suggestion, man. You know, like, this is a tournament that has own goal, which in this game, even though it looked like Gakpo got the final touch on the second Dutch goal from the cross from Dumfries, it was an own goal from one of the Turks. And own goal is a higher scorer by some distance in this competition. So I don't blame Darren Fletcher for going crazy enough to suggest that Montella just run on the field and score some goals himself, because the players on the field right now don't seem to want to do it unless a defender does it for them. So
I have a bit of a random question for you. Mm-hmm. Out of all the coaches right now, that's all been in the tournament since the beginning, who do you think was the best player?
Okay, who are the candidates? We gotta narrow this shit down, because it's probably Ronald Koeman.
There's Deschamps. There's Koeman.
There's who?
I said Koeman's there. Willie Sagnol's there.
Koeman.
Tedesco, did he even play?
Koeman.
Spalletti's there.
Koeman.
Yeah.
Koeman.
Yeah, Coach Koeman. There's Koeman.
By a distance, actually. By a healthy distance, you know. So
yeah. I as soon as I went through the list, I was like, why am I even ask such a stupid question? We already know what's wrong with Koeman. I was just like,
never mind. Like that sometimes, man. Mad coaches in the tournament started with laptops and shit, man. Fuck out of here. Like, come on, man. He's heritage, man. Heritage. Today was a heritage day. England doing their thing, the Dutch doing their thing as well. You know, so.
We'll talk about the semifinals, man. We got Spain versus France, then we got England versus Netherlands, and I think it's so funny that we got some of the biggest colonial powerhouses fighting to play in Berlin.
Hey, man, Western Europe stole everything from the rest of the world, and you know it reflects in the sports that we watch. You know, it's not what we want to think about while we're watching, but it is the truth. You know, so the ones who have made the most of their colonial tidings, if you will, would be the French. Like England for
nobody. I was gonna say nobody does colonialism on the pitch better than France. Where can you see a West African, Central African, North African, and a white man get along on the French national team?
Man, and they barely get along, to be honest. You know, like they've just been faking this whole happiness thing for a while. That's all it is. You know, like I mean, you see, they gave Mbappe the armband, and the far right in France is about to come to power. You see how these things work? If they just give it back to Griezmann, things might calm down over there. But that's neither here nor there. I think they're going to do Spain. I know Spain has been the better team in this competition, but I just think the French just know how to win. You know, they just bank on the fact that you won't score on them, and it's been a pretty good bet to make in this tournament, especially with arguably the best player in the tournament in their backline, William Saliba. You know, so yeah, I mean, yes, the money will probably favor Spain. You know, the vibes, the aesthetics, the results we've seen so far is all saying Spain. They knocked out the host even. But I just feel like Deschamps has too much evil in him, and he's going to knock him out. Who you got in Netherlands versus England, bro?
I am going to say Netherlands. I don't know why, but I just kind of feel like this is just some weird shit happening in this tournament. I feel Netherlands versus France just feels like that's going to be the final. I don't know why. Just kind of have a weird feeling. But I wouldn't be shocked if England wins.
Honestly, I wouldn't be mad at any of the final matchups we would get from this group of four. This is as heritage as it gets. This is so 90s it hurts. You know, so you know, I love it. I love it. But
this is what we grew up on. This is our shit. This is the eldest time to shine.
There you go. You know, so.
I finally understand why adults listen to music and say, "What you know about this here, young fella? What you niggas know about these 14s, young fella?"
Yeah,
This
I
is real.
still got France winning it all from here. I just refuse to pick against them. I mean, if you don't concede goals, you have a great chance to win. All these other teams, they concede goals.
For sure. Yeah, and France are watertight back there. So again, ladies and gentlemen, please always like, subscribe, comment. We really appreciate everything you guys have done for us, supporting us. By the way, the tank I wore the other day, that's a 1 of 1. Sorry. You know, that unserious tank is a 1 of 1. Maybe we'll talk to our tailor and see if we could do that. But I don't know. We'll see. But Dean, you got anything you want to add?
Nah, man. Keep fucking with us. We appreciate y'all. And yeah, we'll have some really interesting news for you very soon.
Amen. And quickly before we head out, as we're recording this, I want to see Dean's live reaction to this. Colombia up 3-0 against Panama.
Okay, so I'm supposed to give them credit for beating on a cripple? Like what the fuck? What? Duh. Whatever. Fuck Colombia.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're out. Everyone take it easy. Peace.
Peace.
Take your shirt off. Take your shirt off. Plenty. Plenty.